Hello everyone. In today's lecture, I'll be dealing with the offenses against women, specifically rape, that has been defined under Section 375 of the Indian Penal Code. The Indian Penal Code has been amended after 2013. The old provision, that is the old provision of Section 375, has defined rape as a man is said to commit rape who, except in the cases hereinafter accepted, has sexual intercourse with a woman under circumstances falling under any of the six description. The definition states that any of the things that are being listed, that is the six things listed, if any person is doing those acts, he will be counted as committing the rape. The first act is against her will, second, without her consent, third, with her consent, when her consent has been obtained by fear of death or hurt of her or anyone whom she is interested in, fourth, with her consent, when the man knows that he is not a husband, okay, fifth, with her consent when she is not in the condition of giving the consent because she is unable to understand because of unsoundness of mind or intoxication the nature and the consequence of what she is giving the consent. Sixth, with or without her consent when she is under the age of 16. Explanation to that: penetration is sufficient to constitute the sexual intercourse necessary to the offense of rape. When I'm talking about the exception, nothing is a rape when a husband is doing it, having a sexual intercourse with his own wife, not being under the age of 15 years. After 2013, amended, and now the new act has given a wide definition of rape. In the last one, we were having only a definition which stated that the things following below, if a person is committing any of those acts, he would be counted as he has done an offense. But now, after the amendment, the definition itself has been increased, and now a man is said to commit rape if, firstly, he penetrates his penis to any extent into the vagina, mouth, urethra, or anus of a woman, or makes her to do so with him or any other person, or second, inserts to any extent any object or a part of body not being the penis into the vagina, the urethra, or anus of a woman, or makes her to do so with him or any other person. Third, or manipulates any part of the woman so as to cause penetration into the vagina or any part of the body of a woman, or makes her to do so with him or any other person. Fourth, applies his mouth. Okay, so now the definition has included four things, that is, he penetrates, he inserts anything, he manipulates any part of the body of a woman so as to cause the penetration, and fourthly, applies his mouth. Okay, makes her to do so with him or any other person under the circumstances following under the following seven descriptions. Before the amendment, there were six descriptions. Now, after the amendment, we are having seven descriptions. The first is against her will, second, without her consent, third, with her consent, where her consent has been obtained by putting her to the fear of death or hurt, fourth, with her consent when the man knows that he is not her husband, fifth, with her consent when at the time of giving such consent she was unable to understand the nature and consequences because of unsoundness of mind or intoxication. Sixth, with or without a consent when she is under the age of 18 years. Seventh, when she is unable to communicate the consent. Here the explanation first explanation states that for the purpose of this section, vagina shall include also labia majora. And explanation 2, the consent means an unequivocal voluntary agreement when the women by words, gesture, or any form of verbal or non-verbal communication communicates willingness to participate in the specific sexual act, provided that a woman who does not physically resist to the act of penetration shall not, by the reason only of that fact, be regarded as consenting to the sexual activity. Exception: first, a medical procedure or intervention shall not constitute rape. Second, sexual intercourse or sexual acts by a man with his own wife, the wife not being under 15 years of age, is not rape. The ingredients of rape: there are two ingredients, that is, the sexual intercourse should be by a man with a woman, not vice versa or not under any circumstances, and the sexual intercourse must be under the circumstances falling under any of the 7 clauses of section 375. Circumstances falling under section 375, that is the 7 clauses that are mentioned under section 375. A man is guilty of rape if he commits sexual intercourse with a woman either against her will or without her consent, as enumerated under clauses 1 to 7 of section 375. Clause 1. Against her will. The will implies the faculty of reasoning power of the mind that determines whether to do an act or not. Every act done against the will is obviously without the consent, but every act without the consent is not always against the will. Clause 1 of this section applies where the woman is in possession of her senses and therefore capable of consenting. For this, you may refer to the case of State of Uttar Pradesh versus Chote Lal, in which the Supreme Court stated that the expression against her will would ordinarily mean that the intercourse was done by a man with a woman despite her resistance and opposition. Against her will means she can resist, she has the circumstances, she has the possession of sense and capable of consenting, and therefore she is capable of resisting and opposing that man. Second clause states, without her consent. The essence of rape is the absence of consent. Consent means the intelligent, positive currents of the will of the women. According to explanation 2, which defines consent, it states that consent means an unequivocal voluntary agreement when the person by words, gesture, or any form of non-verbal communication communicates a willingness to participate in the specific sexual act. Thus, to absolve a person of criminal liability, consent must be given freely and it must not be obtained by fraud or by mistake or under a misconception of fact. In this case, the burden of proof will lie upon the prosecution to prove that the sexual intercourse was done without the consent or against her will. Okay, and it would not be necessary for the defense to prove that the sexual intercourse was with the consent of the women. The third clause states that the consent procured by putting the women under the fear of death or hurt is no consent under the eye of the law. Clause 3 of the section 375 IPC asserts that the consent of women in order to exonerate the accused of the charge of rape must be given freely and voluntarily without any fear of death or hurt or injury. In such a case, the consent obtained will not be a valid consent. And if you see the clause, after the amendment of 1983, the words of any person in whom she is interested has been added after the words putting her in the fear of death or hurt in that clause. It has been done to widen the scope of this clause so as to include even the threat of injury or death to any person whom she is interested. In the case of State of Maharashtra versus Prakash, the apex court held that where a police constable and a businessman had sexual intercourse with a woman by beating her husband and threatening to put him in a police remand, the act falls under clause 3 of section 375 IPC. The suggestion that the victim has consented to intercourse willingly is ruled out for the offense of rape. And it is not necessary that there should be actual use of force. A threat to use of force is also sufficient to come under clause 3 of section 375. Moving further to clause 4, consent accorded under a misconception that the person is the husband of woman. If a consent is given by a woman to a person for intercourse, believing the person to be the husband, whereas in fact he is not her husband, it is not a consent in law. In such a situation, the person knows the fact of deception and pretends to be the husband of that woman. In that case, if the husband or the person is aware that he is not the husband of that woman, but the woman is believing that he is her husband, and that in that case a woman is ready to have sexual intercourse. Here in this situation, man is aware, but the female is not aware. And being aware, a man is entering into the physical relationship or sexual intercourse with the woman, he will be coming under clause 4 of section 375. Moving further to clause 5, which states that consent procured by a woman of unsound mind or under the influence of intoxication. Clause 5 of section 375 was added by the Criminal Law Amendment Act 1983, and the object of this new clause was to protect and safeguard the interest of women who accords consent for sexual intercourse without knowing the nature and consequence of the act by the reason of unsoundness of mind or by intoxication, by the influence of intoxication. In this circumstance, if the female is because of the influence of intoxication unable to understand what she is doing or what consent she is giving, that consent would not be a valid consent in the eye of law. Clause 6 states that the consent of a girl under the age of 18 years. If a sexual intercourse is taking place between a man and a woman being under the age of 18, if it is without consent, then that person will be coming under section clause 6 of section 375. But even if she is giving her consent, in that situation also, that person would be coming under section 375 clause 6. The age limit has been increased from 16 to 18 by the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013, and it can be seen from the judgment of Apex Court in Harpal Singh, which held that even if the girl of 14 years is a willing party and invited the accused to have sexual intercourse with her, the accused would be liable for rape under this clause. Coming to the last clause, that is 7th, in which the woman is unable to communicate the consent by whatever condition. When she is unable to communicate the consent, the act done would be counted under against her will and without her consent. That's it for today. You all have understood this section. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask me your queries. I'll be definitely there to answer your queries. Thank you.